Hello and welcome to the GCSE Chemistry tutorial for topic C9, Chemistry of the Atmosphere. This tutorial will cover part 2, Polluting the Atmosphere. We'll be looking at climate change, carbon footprints and other pollution. First of all, climate change. This is caused by greenhouse gases. So greenhouse gases are gases like carbon dioxide, methane and water vapour. And they are present in the Earth's atmosphere, so just outside the Earth. And they build up and form a thick layer. Now normally that layer is fine, but at the moment what's happening is more and more is building up. Those greenhouse gases absorb long wavelength radiation from the sun, and then they re-radiate that radiation back to the Earth, as you can see here. So they're reflecting it back into the Earth, and the Earth is getting warmer. Normally those levels aren't a problem because it just makes the right temperature for Earth to sustain life. But over the last 200 years, the temperatures have been increasing because those layers are getting thicker. Especially in the last 10 years, we've had some of the hottest temperatures. Now, global warming is made worse because of human activity. For example, deforestation. By chopping down trees, less of the carbon dioxide is removed from the air by photosynthesis. By burning fossil fuels, we're releasing more carbon dioxide. Cattle farming makes more methane, and making waste. So the more people there are, the more waste there is, and when waste breaks down, it makes even more carbon dioxide and methane. So there is a trend between the temperature increase and the increase in carbon dioxide. These two things are linked. And climate change can cause an increase in flooding, ice caps melting, sea levels rising, erosion at the coasts, changes in rainfall, so in some areas heavy rainfall, in some other areas droughts, which will lead to food shortages, habitats being destroyed and loss of species. They're just some of the things that climate change is causing. Your carbon footprint is how much carbon dioxide you produce. For example, by using electricity in your house or going in a car. To reduce your carbon footprint, the following things a country can adopt. Use more renewable fuels, use less fossil fuels. In terms of transport, walking, cycling, using hybrid buses, recycling waste, introducing taxes. For example, the congestion charge in London means it makes it less common for people to drive in London because you have to pay a tax. Introducing laws. So, for example, having a particular quota of how much renewable fuels you have to produce from your use in your country. And also reducing the amount of carbon dioxide that is made. So introducing pollution filters, for example. But the issue with reducing carbon footprint is renewable energy is still expensive to build and it's limited to certain areas. For example, hydroelectric dams need a large area. There's also economic issues. So for the country, is it in its best interest to be reducing its carbon footprint when there are other issues as well in that country? Also, lack of knowledge and education. There is still the view with some people that one, global warming isn't happening, or two, what can they do about it anyway? And it's about everybody working together to make sure that countries do actively all take part in reducing their carbon footprint. Other pollution. So incomplete combustion of fuels can make carbon and carbon monoxide. The carbon particulates, they can get into your lungs and cause damage, and also they can get into the air and cause light pollution like global dimming. Carbon monoxide, that is an odourless and colourless gas, and when you breathe it in, it takes the place of oxygen, so it combines with your haemoglobin, which means that you are having less oxygen in your blood, you'll feel very faint, and pass out and can fall into a coma. People can die from carbon monoxide poisoning. Other pollution, when you're burning fossil fuels, you can also get sulfur dioxide, and car exhausts can make nitrogen oxides. Both of these can combine with water vapour and form acid rain. Acid rain doesn't harm humans, but it kills plants, damages buildings, statues, and pollutes water. If you pause the tutorial now and try and answer these questions. So the greenhouse gases are carbon dioxide, methane, water vapour and nitrous oxides. Global warming is when the gases build up in the Earth's atmosphere and the layer of these gases re-radiates the radiation from the sun back into the earth, making it warmer. Acid rain is rain combined with sulfur dioxide, and it destroys buildings, pollutes rivers, and harms wildlife. In summary, we've looked at polluting the atmosphere.